Hi, I'm Andrea Vicari and this is the second tutorial on St Thomas, and I'm going to be talking about the rhythm of the melody and the idea of on and off beats. I'm going to play the first 4 bars of St Thomas. This is the beat. The tune of St Thomas has many notes that fall on the beat, but also some that fall off the beat, and it's those notes that I'm interested in more than the on-beat notes, and that's because the off-beats make it sound cool, groovy, whatever you want to call it. They're actually what we call syncopations, where we put an emphasis on a beat that's not normally accented. So in a bar of 4/4, we'll have 4 beats, 4 crotchet beats, and that will be like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I'm saying 1 and because I'm including the quaver that would occur after the crotchet, or would be 2 quavers. When I clap off the beat, I'm clapping on those quavers that are on the and of 1, on the and of 2, and of 3, and and of 4. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's those off beats that make things sound a bit more hip, a bit more funky, whatever you want to describe it as. So in this tune of St Thomas, actually a lot of the beats, a lot of the notes are on the beat. I'm now going to tap the beat with my left hand. I'm going to play the tune and I'm going to say if it's on or off the beat. You can also look at the music if you've got the PDF of the worksheet. So here's the beat: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm clapping or tapping the crotchets. I'll count myself a bar for nothing. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. On, off, 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 on, 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 on. So a lot of the time I was playing notes, they were on the beat. But there's a couple of times, it was actually in the first bar where they're off the beat. We come to the next part of the tune, which goes, and most of those notes are on the beat, except for the last quaver, which is on the and of 4, and that's off the beat. So it's on, off. And the second phrase of that 4-bar passage goes on, off. Just think about that final quaver really as an anticipation of the next bar, rather than being kind of just at the end of the bar. So I always think of it as introducing the next bar. So I'll demonstrate what I mean. And that was the bit that it was an anticipation of the next bar. And that tends to help not only just in reading music, but also if you're playing a chord, you tend to, if you've got a chord right at the end of the bar, it's not really belonging to that bar, it tends to go for the next bar. So I'll show you what I mean. And that was the chord 6, the A7 chord. That was just put in at the end, but it really belongs to the second bar in that 4-bar phrase. The final 4 bars has a lot of notes that are actually on the beat. So it goes on, 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 on. So actually the syncopation is only occasionally, but it does give it the spirit of the piece. Saying that, the bass line is more syncopated, and that gives you a calypso feel. So if I was to play the bass line of a calypso feel, not necessarily the version that Sonny Rollins plays, but just using that as a general feel, a groove, a bass line would be like this. And again, that uses an on beat, an off beat, and then an on beat. So it goes on beat 1, the next note is on the and of 2, and then we've got 4 and. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So it's on, off, on, off. And I'm just going to play the tune of St Thomas with that groove. I'm changing the harmony, making it much more simple. I'm only going to use chords 1, 4 and 5, and just shows you how you can make it sound a bit more authentic with just those chords, but obviously it's not true to Sonny Rollins's version. Here we go. And that was a simplified version of it, but you can hear how that calypso feel could be quite authentic if it only used chords 1, 4 and 5. Join me for the next tutorial where I'll be looking at that traditional bass line that, well, the bass line that Sonny Rollins puts in on his tune.